Hello, hello. Okay, so it's Talk It Out Tuesday. If you watch this on the replay, make sure that you leave a like, leave a comment, your thoughts on this subject. Hey, Karen, how are you? How are you? So, make sure you leave a comment or two, and if you watch it on the replay, make sure you open up the live chat so you can see what is being said. This is going to be a kind of a quick video for me. Yeah, because I don't have that much time. Because I got to get out of here in a little bit. So that's why I'm going on earlier than I normally do when I do things like this. The thing about being a live channel is that you cannot pre record and just pop in some things. So I think the thing with my channel is going to be those times when there's nothing here. That's what's going to happen. There's just going to be nothing here. Absolutely nothing. It's going to be dead silence, radio silence. Except on my community page, just so you know. I mean, it is what it is. Hey, Michelle. You sneaking and watching me from work. Okay. So here's what I want to talk about on us to Talk It Out Tuesday. Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda. So I want to talk about beauty and loving yourself. So some people have heard me talk about this. Right. Then other times I post twice a day. You don't know what's going to happen on this channel. Uh, so I've talked about this before, but it's been quite some time. So I wanted to talk about beauty, and we are a beauty space. And I wanted to talk about it from a personal level and how we relate to beauty and loving ourselves and things like that. So, as I always tell people, I grew up not being told that I was pretty. I just wasn't. My mother did not tell me that I was pretty. Outside people would say I was pretty or whatever, but like my mother never called me pretty. She always told me pretty as pretty does, because she never wanted me to just be all about being pretty. So it was always about you know um, having being smart and being a good person and being kind so those were the things that my mother instilled in me, was pretty as pretty does, because she wasn't into the superficial fluff of it. Now that's a good thing to a certain extent, but it's a bad thing on another hand, so we'll talk about why on both sides. And then of course I am the youngest, and my brothers and sisters are significantly older than me. So I looked up to them, and they used to make fun of me and tease me, and call me names like kids do. Even though my sister's 10 years older than me, so technically she really wasn't a kid, but that's another story. And my brother was a brother, so So I grew up not thinking that I was attractive at all. I used to think that I was an ugly duckling. Let me be just real. And so on one hand, what my mother taught me was, it's about your character and things. Right. My mom, see, like my brother, my sister would call me fat and stuff like that. Now, my mother never called me things like that, but it wasn't about being pretty. It wasn't about looks or anything. And it wasn't like, my mother was about you enhancing your looks or anything. It was just like, hey, you look like you look. Um, the thing about that is, yes, there's a certain amount of that you need that happen, because so often we live in a society that is so superficial that a lot of times other parts of us are not given enough merit. Character and all that stuff is not always given merit, and beauty and being physically attractive can be what drives you, but it will not drive you forever. So there is a certain amount of, you need to be more than that so often people don't get. So don't get me wrong, I don't think that what my mother taught me was bad. I just think that she erred on the side of just so much not saying that, that you have pretty looking, that it opened me up to things as a young woman. Hi, Tracy. And why I say that is because I'm not seeing myself as attractive, as pretty. um it Yeah. Right. You can't water. You have to water all the flowers. So by not feeling attractive or pretty, it made me feel less than, which then opened me up to bad relationships when I was younger. Not necessarily, I never, took too much, but I always felt like um, that I wasn't good enough for the guys I dated, that I should feel like really, I should feel like they were doing me a favor. And because of that, they always felt like they were doing me a favor. You get when you feel that way, you find people, you attract people that are going to treat you that way. And even though they saw me as pretty, they knew not to tell me that. Because in order to keep a person down, you don't build them up, you keep them down. And so, because of it, when I was young, I was susceptible to being in, luckily I didn't get in too bad of relationships, but allowing myself to not be valued as the way I should have been. Does that make sense at all? And so I say that to say it's not about the conventional beauty. I'm not saying that you have to fit somebody's standards, but you must feel beautiful. You must, hi Rita, you must feel beautiful. And I didn't. I didn't. I didn't feel beautiful. I felt like, oh, I should be so grateful that they have me in their life and shit. And that's not true. That's not true, and it's not just about my physical features or anything. It's about the other things that are more important. And those are the things that, yes, my mother instilled in me, but she didn't give me enough of that part of me that could have saved me some heartache. And so I'm saying that to say that you must find your beauty. It's not about what it looks like in the magazines or in videos or putting on this makeup. You must believe in your beauty, whatever it is, in order for you to feel, to love yourself enough to say, I am enough. I am more than enough. I am better than this. I don't deserve this. Fuck you. And that's a thing that we have to understand and start seeing within ourselves, because if you don't see your beauty or believe in it, the outside world will not either, and they will take advantage of you because of it. Okay, I don't know, maybe I'm talking too much. Yeah, so and the moment that kind of changed it for me was a friend of mine, was somebody. And at the time I was feeling like really overweight. I had just had DJ. I was really unhappy with their father, and he was treating me like he was doing me a favor. Nothing abusive or anything like that, but just like he was doing me a favor. And so and I was feeling like, I got these two kids. I should be, thrilled to be with somebody, and he gave me a house, bought a house and all that stuff. But he didn't value me. He made me feel like he was doing me a favor, and that, he could do better than me and all these other things. And here I am, I've got your children. I'm raising your kids, and you're not even valuing that part of me, which I was a damn good mother. And so it took one day going to see a friend who I hadn't seen, and I was still, carrying the baby weight and everything, and I was unhappy. And he saw it on my face, and I was like, well, it's okay. Yeah, mental abuse is just as bad. And I don't even think he was calling himself being mentally abusive. He honestly wasn't. He just felt like, hey, I gave you this. You should be thrilled, hey. So, and he looked at me. He was like, so he had a one bedroom. He was like, come on, you can move your kids in. You can stay here. You don't have to be with that. You're beautiful. And did I take him up on it? No, I did not. But it did make me think and look at myself and say, no, you're not, you know what, you're right. I am pretty. Why am I allowing this person to make me feel so ugly when I'm the mother of your children, so you should be making me feel like a goddamn princess. But okay, since you're not, then it's time for me to go. And that was the click that I needed to make me look at myself and say, you know what, you are okay. You don't have to take this because you feel like no one else is gonna want you. You're gonna be by yourself. You're unattractive. You're this. That was a click I needed just out of the blue to make me really say, okay, I don't deserve this, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. And and sadly, so many of us don't have get that click, and many of us claim that that we believe in our beauty and everything. But if you look at the pattern of how you live and how your relationships go, really, are you that person, or are you really not believing that and just giving a facade to the world that in your home you are allowing yourself to feel less than? Am I talking too much? I feel like I'm really talky today. I'm sorry. So let's talk about it. So, what are you all's feelings on the beauty and your own personal beauty? How do you feel about your own personal beauty, and things like that? And have you dealt with these type of issues? Are you still trying to resolve them? What's going on? Let's talk it out. It's not just about me, though. Y'all got me for about an hour. Got 45 more minutes. This is the quietest y'all been. This is the quietest you all have been. Either I talk too much. Really? Why do you keep crying at me, cat? Okay. Come here. You want to come up here? Come on. Right, exactly, Michelle. And that was the thing. It wasn't that other people didn't tell you, but and here's the thing is that right, everyone's so quiet. Is that all those other voices mean nothing if the people that you love and you think should love you don't say it for you. And sometimes they do err on this side that they don't want you to get full of yourself. I get that. My mama didn't want me to get full of myself and be like, oh, I'm so pretty, forget you, I don't have to do anything, I'm just pretty. I get where she was coming from with that, but we also have to make sure that people have that part of us because right, right, right. She got stuff to say. But I think that's the other issue is that when they try to do that for us because they don't want us to be like the superficial person, but they err on the side of making us feel less than on that because it is important that we think that we are pretty. There's nothing wrong with feeling pretty, or wanting to be pretty. I think sometimes we are taught and made to feel like that's just being superficial, but the reality is it's okay to feel pretty. It's okay to want to be pretty. And that doesn't take away from your intellect. It doesn't take away from your kindness. It doesn't, it shouldn't do any of those things. But it will help you in those times that you won't, it can help with your self-esteem and your confidence. And I think sometimes that, hey, Tammy, right. Exactly. Like because of it, when Bianca and DJ were little, I always made sure that every day I would call Bianca. I'd look and say, "You a beautiful black princess, and you're a handsome black prince." Now, of course, it was about them being smart, okay? Because it was like, "Yeah, you cute, but you better be smart and don't be stupid." But I knew from my own personal experience that I wanted to make sure that they felt confident, and when they walked out the door, that they were confident in how they looked, whether they were traditionally beautiful or not. I wanted them to have that confidence that I lacked, because I did lack that confidence. I for years when I was young, I used to walk hunched over because I didn't want to be seen. So I can understand those feelings, luckily. Right. Right, right, exactly. I'm right. 'Cause now we can, and so it's like, even, so there's this space that it's okay to want to be pretty. It's okay. And let me say, when I look at myself, when I do things, I do it for me. I'm not trying to impress anybody else other than me at this point in my life. And it has been, of course, decades since I felt this way. Hi, Tanya Morris, how are you? That I felt that way. But I can look back and see the mistake, that, how I felt about myself, and how it affected me on many levels. And so that's why I am into women. Right, see, Tracy. And so that's why it's like, I I do think it's important that we think of ourselves as beautiful. I do think that it's important that we spend time taking care of ourselves and pampering ourselves, because it is a ritual that says I love myself, and I want myself to look like this or feel like this. And it's okay. And it's not, and let's not make ourselves feel like we are being superficial, or that's just so full of yourself. Well, no. If you do not love yourself and think of yourself as beautiful. I wish I could see this cat rolling on my bed looking at me like, you're supposed to be petting me. I'm not petting you now, I'm busy. So if we don't do those things for ourselves, no one's going to do them for us. And 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 so we must take time for ourselves. We must pamper ourselves. We must do all those things. Right. 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 And see, and that's the thing, it can be insidious. Forget you, Kimberly Newberry. It can be insidious, that feeling that, men treating us like that. And by the time we catch it, we're too deep into it to not see it. And so that's why it's really important, Hyvie, that we do feel that way about ourselves, because it's like armor. Feeling good about yourself, loving yourself, loving yourself. I'm just saying, I'm not getting off of here for her, because she's looking at me and she's staring at me with her cat eyes, like she's trying to mesmerize me to come over there, and I'm doing something. That's all I'm saying. Now, if it was another time, I might pet you, but I'm not petting you right now. No, but I think that beauty can be our armor. Feeling beautiful about yourself, and in turn loving ourselves, is our armor. And it's so, and wear that armor well, wear it well, and don't be ashamed of your armor. Don't be a Forget you, Kimberly. Don't be ashamed of that armor that you're carrying, because you need it. Hi, Madeline, how are you? You need it. And don't let anybody make you feel like, oh, you just so full of yourself. So what else, other things you want to talk about, beauty and things like that. And so that's why I hate when I hear people beauty shaming, like makeup shaming and beauty shaming and all these things, to make us feel like the things that make us happy, that make us feel good about ourselves, are less than and are superficial, and you don't need them. I am so tired of people, it's like, it's good to feel good about yourself, whatever. But if this makes you feel better about yourself, if it enhances you, if it gives you confidence when you walk out the door, do whatever you need to do to make that happen. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let anybody make you feel bad. And see, that's the thing, Michelle, you're so pretty. You're my little snow princess. With all your little long blonde hair and icy blue eyes, you're a snow princess. But I do know where you're coming from, and I get it, and that is what I don't like. I don't like that life and people around us have been able to, like, hurt us to the point that we don't believe in ourselves. That we don't believe in ourselves, and we don't see who we are and how special we are in this world. So often we don't see our special, and we allow people to beat our special out of us. And you know why they do that? Because that makes them feel superior. Not that they are superior, but that's the only way that they can feel superior, is to beat somebody down. So it's important that we try to find that place again, and it might take a long time. It's not going to happen overnight, but little by little we have to see ourselves and start loving that part of ourselves, and saying that I am better than these people, and fuck them, they don't deserve me. And it's okay. And when we make those mistakes and we stumble and lose sight of who we are, take the moments that it takes to come back to yourself and find yourself. I don't know, I'm kind of preachy today. I was kind of preachy today. Sorry. Hey, did I put this on there? Okay, good. Sorry, I had to check something. Oh, I'm not on Do Not Disturb, or am I? I think I am. I might be. Okay, we'll know in a minute if the phone goes off. Well, I guess it's going to be a short live because people really aren't talking. So I don't want to keep y'all here, and then we just and I'm rambling on and on. I want to be on here just rambling on and on. Like I'm on a, and see, he's a horrible human being to say that. He's a horrible human being to say that, Michelle. And you know what? He's like a jerk and a bottom feeder. Oh, I know. I'm sure it was. Thank you, Kimberly. Fuck his raggedy ass. Right. Yeah, and so we have to turn, but it's like you have to turn. At this point, Miffy, I want you to turn that around and start seeing the beauty of you. It's really important that we turn that around, and it's a hard thing, right? He was a bottom feeder. He was like a catfish, you know. What Kimberly Newberry said. Exactly. And let me tell you, okay, and let me tell you, and I understand that. Hey, Kim, if you don't get in touch with me, I'm gonna get you. I hit you on Messenger, but you don't have Messenger. So can you send me something? Can you send me something though? Can you email? Can you do something for me? Because we trying to get together. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Right. You see, but you know what? Like for instance, certain things and this is for real. I know this because one of my, oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let us know how she's doing. Keep us, in the loop. When I was young, and my older sister told me, my other sister was telling me this, right? And this is y'all gonna understand this now. When I was a little girl, and I am the palest in my family. I have a rainbow family, and one of my older sisters, not my oldest sister, you know, hi Kayla, not my oldest sister, but the one that's closest to me. My oldest sister told me that when I was a little girl, like about three, around about 3 or 4, James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud was out, right? And so apparently my sister was like, sing it, sweetie, sing it. And I was like, say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud. And my sister told me, no, you not. You a white girl. Now, is that something to tell your little sister? I promise you, this is what I heard. This is a story that I heard. And it makes sense because, and my older sisters are much more, they're more melanated than me. They have deeper complexions. So, that was the beginning of my issues with my complexion. I know it, looking once I understood that, and I was like a little kid, like 10 years younger than her, a little kid, you know. And so that's one of those things. And so those are the things that can happen. And so, like, I remember, for real talk, my first boyfriend. Now, let me tell you, my best friend's daddy, Pops, Donnie's daddy, used to call him Shepherd Boy because he said he looked like a German Shepherd about the face. Looking at back, he kind of did have a shepherd kind of face, you know, very pointed. And but he was my first real boyfriend, everything, and I was just in love with him. Right now, I was a cute girl, you know, but at that time I didn't know it. I thought that I was, you know, and he was kind of cool and everything. And I just thought that you know, hey, you know, he chose me and everything. And so we went through some stuff, and I always felt like, you know, he could do better than me, you know, and I needed to, you know, because he could do better than me. And he had this tendency, I kid you not, he would stare at women, just openly stare at them, like, do this, right? And when I started really thinking better of myself, this is the beginning of it, was that he was like, one day we were walking down the street, and I'll never get this. There was a woman jogging toward us. You know, it was the 80s. She had on some little spandex thing, big titted, big breasts and everything, jogging toward us. And we were in the midst of a conversation and walking. And then, you know, and when I'm walking and we're talking, I noticed he wasn't saying anything. And I looked, and this fool, okay, well, we'll talk, Kim. Um, and so I'm looking at this fool, and I was like, um, and so then I'm like, you know, I called his name, and I was like, are you serious? I was like, do you know how that makes me feel when you do something like that? And this was, you know, trying to have a moment as an adult moment. We're 20, in our like early 20s. And he was like, you know, I can have any woman on the street, not chose you. And right. Yes. Yeah. We'll worry about that later. We'll worry about that later, honey. Just let us know how you and your mom are doing. How your mom is doing. And so I had to be like, and that was the moment that I knew we were not going to be together. And that was luckily a turning point for me, because that was the beginning of the turning point for me. Because at the time I was like, I said, wait a minute. In my head, I said, oh, okay, so we can't never be together. Because if you think that you're doing me a favor, and I mean for you to say that to me, and sometimes, and that's what we have to hear, those words. Here's the thing about life, ladies. We have to hear, right? We have to hear those words and act upon them, because so often we hear them and we let them hurt us and we don't act upon them. At that moment when he said that, I began to cut him off in my head. And understand, we don't cut off immediately. So it was like, and all those locks started unlocking, and I was freeing myself from him. So by the time I left him, and I left him a few months later, I was free of him. I didn't care no more. I gave him whatever. And that's what we need to do. As women, we must love ourselves enough to understand that love is, as Toni Morrison says, Kimberly, am I saying it right? You know, right, girl, please. You know, thin love ain't no love at all. Thin love ain't no love at all. And so often we take the thin love hoping that it might turn to a thick love. Thin love ain't no love at all, ladies. So when you find when you find yourself in the midst of a thin love, it's time for you to start backing yourself up out of it instead of immersing yourself into it. Because here's what we as women do, straight up. Yeah. Yeah, honey. This was in the 80s, so this, you know, they could have been, maybe it's a like a man thing, bullshit. And so And so, it's like you have to, when you see this stuff happening, we have to be willing to not internalize it. Girl, that was him. That would have been him too. So what we have to do is see that we are internalizing it and allowing and taking the blame for some bullshit that ain't us. When we see this kind of stuff, we can't decide that we're going to be better and we're going to fix it and we're going to prove we're worth it. We are worthy of their affection and love. No, no. If you know you're a good person, if you're doing right by somebody, then back the fuck up off of that shit. You ain't got to stay in there. And so that's what we have to do, because I understand. We know this. Let's think about this. As women, right. Thank you, Kim. As women, we tend to take the burden on us and say that it's our fault and try to fix things and make it better. What if I did this? I'm better to be better than whatever, whatever, whatever. No, no, you don't deserve that. And none of us do. And so that's when we have to break away from them at that point. So we just, oh, okay. Because trust me on this, the person who talks to you like that knows that you are better than what he can actually deserve. So in order to keep you, he's got to make you feel like he's doing you a favor. Always remember that. When a person treats you like that, male or female, treats you like that, it is because they're trying to hold you in any way they can, and the only way they can call themselves holding you is to make you feel shitty about yourself. Right. Right. And what V said. But you know what I'm saying? So understand that when a man is like trying to and hear the words, when he's trying to low key make you feel bad about yourself and make you feel like he's doing you a favor to be with him, that's because he knows that you could do better than him. So let me make her feel shitty so that she won't ever wander. Just think about it. That's exactly what's going on. Let me rub my arms because they're feeling a little puffy from the day. Y'all know I let it stay. Ooh, it feels nice and cool too. I don't think we have any heat in the building, by the way. I ain't even feeling no damn heat. House ain't warm at all. So anyway. And so that's, and that is one of the things that men do. They'll make you feel like, or let me say this: somebody who's gonna work on your self-esteem. First thing they're gonna do is that make you feel like you can't do better than them. They're the best thing that ever happened to you. Right. Yes. Yes, there is that's an old saying, honey. That's an old wives' tale. You should always marry somebody who loves you more than you love them. That's what older women will tell you, that always marry a man. They say always marry a man who loves you more than you love him. That is a saying. What the hell is going on with my eyes? Okay, so I'm gonna have to go. I need to give you some more. Sorry, I need some more alcohol. Yep. That's what old women say that all the time. My grandmama told me that when I was a kid. Marry a man that loves you more than you love him, sweetie. Marry a man that loves you more than you love him. But yeah, so I want us, everybody who's in here, and I see 15 people and 15 people ain't talking to me. Remember, now 14. Whenever I do that, I always lose a person. Maybe I shouldn't say those things. Okay, whatever. But I want everybody to, and here's one of the things, even if nothing else, listen to a guided meditation that is about self-confidence, that is about beauty and loving yourself more, because trust me, if you don't see those things, I'm telling you, every time I do that, I lose at least one person. You know, if you don't see that beauty and if you don't believe in yourself, that, yeah, it happens every time. I'll look and I'll see a number and then the number will go down. Look at this piece of hair hanging out. Do I look stupid? Yes, it does. It does help with it does depuff because it's cool. It is cool. And so it cools you off. It cools your skin. And so it will depuff your eyes. If you just like, got some fluid in there. But anyway, so that's where I was thinking. That's my thought for the Talk It Out Tuesday. I'm not going to keep y'all forever. I guess I'll help you see. Anything else? Now it says 17 people in that. It's like 5 of y'all talking to me. It's 5 of y'all talking. So there's 12 people just sitting in here not saying a word to me. Now it's down to 16. I'm telling you, when I say that, I lose a person. Right, she really is. She keeps looking over like, now she's reaching out her paw to me like, hello, hello. Oh my goodness, Miffy. Are you a subscriber? I have been on here for 36 minutes. Thank you. Well, Tammy, you one of the people who talking to me. Miffy, are you a subscriber? Oh yes, I know that one. Miss V. Hi, Stacy. Oh, you emailed some pairs. I understand that. I'm a teacher too. I understand yeah, I heard the Eartha Kitt compromise. I've heard that, and I love me some Miss Eartha. Hi, Sylvia. Oh, that's fine, Linda. Okay, Sylvia. So if oh, thank you. Thank you. Love the watch time. So here's the thing, Sylvia. You're hearing it now. And if you haven't been moving in that direction, it's time to move in that direction. You know, you really do. You know what? And I am glad that I started learning that early. You know, baby, trust me. Didn't we all think that when we was young? But I think that wherever time you hear it and whenever it resonates with you, then let it resonate and start moving in that direction. No, it's not going to be easy. No, it's not going to, because we have layers of hurt at this point. We have layers of disbelief in ourselves. We have layers and layers of this. But let's start trying to get rid of some of those layers. I mean, let me tell you something. I am very self-critical. So I have to work on that because I can be very hypercritical of myself. So I have to work on those things. And now it's time for us to work on the things together, and not be as critical. Because, like for instance, Michelle, you're beautiful. You really are. Perhaps you just haven't. Girl, don't tell me. Can we all say this? Can we get a high five on that one? Do you not remember when you thought you were so fat and now you look back at them pictures and go, damn, I wish I was that size again? Show of hands. Show of hands to that one, because I know we can all say that. Right? But now you are 11 years single, but maybe it's time to be open to not being single. Because these hands is up for that one. Because we all thought we were so big, and I need to lose 15 pounds. Baby, I wish that I wish I still just need to lose 15 pounds. I wish that I was there again. We was like, baby. Because it's like, I remember being, oh my God, I'm so big. I just need to lose all that. Oh my God. Baby, okay, just this big. Okay, I was never that little, Kim. That was your littleness. I was, but and so that's why now we must be okay with where we are, and I'm working on that, because that's a hard space for me too, because I am, that is Sylvia. Thank you. you know, we're going to have a whole conversation about family. Family is going to be a whole different Talk It Out Tuesday when we really delve deep into the whole family issue and how we don't need to let family. Okay, you know, we're just going to talk about that. We're going to have a whole different day on that one because we ain't got time today to delve into the family issue and how they can be your worst enemy. Your worst enemy. Whoo, child. We're not even gonna talk about that today, but I will put that on the list. Right, and they do, and the thing is now you look at yourself and say, "Damn, I was so little." Yeah, we might have to do that next Tuesday. I'll be honest. Yeah, we might have to do it Tuesday because for the people who gonna be okay. Right, and the thing is that I was always called plump and stuff. Listen, if I was the size, you know what? All I need to be is the size I was when I turned 30. You know, if I was, because when I turned 30, I worked my ass off. I had a flat ass stomach. On my 30th birthday, I was wearing a halter top and belt and hip huggers and a belly chain. I worked that shit out. If I was back at that size, bitch. Yeah. The family crap one could be. We could be on here. That could be a marathon. However, I don't work on Wednesday, so if it goes, it will go as long as it needs to go. Okay, so I done everything I need to turn. Hold on. You plug my phone in. There we go. So I got some juice. Yeah, honey, that one can go on, and I got time. I got time and nothing to do with myself on next Tuesday to talk about family. Yes, yes, baby. Yes, backless shirts. Yes, yes. I know you had that one time in the back of them, and yes, girl. Hey, Miss G. So you know, so now though we have to understand we are still beautiful. We look back at those pictures and say, "Damn, look at myself," but we're still those beautiful women. We're still those beautiful women. There we haven't nothing has changed. Maybe our size has changed, but honey, we are still beautiful and we must believe in that and understand that. Right. Please, I can't. I wish I could get into a 12 right now. You know, I wish. Listen, I just want. I have never been a size 4. Not all this ass back here, but a nice size 8 would do me some good. That's all I'm saying. Listen. It's usually the ones who look. That's why I said the ones who say those things to us to tear us down. Those are their insecurities speaking, and they feel the need to take somebody down to feel better about themselves. That's what it is. And you know, and as children and everything, we are under their thumb with their craziness. No, we're not doing that anymore. And so now what I'm saying is make sure the next generation behind you, you give them that self-esteem that we were was taken away from us. Like I said, my mom didn't do it on purpose. She really didn't. She thought she was doing well by me. But by not giving me that, by not giving me that piece, she left me open to some things, you know, man, she left me open to certain things because that part of me, because I always knew I was smart. When she never took away, I was smart. She used to tell me, "You're my smartest child." She always called me the smart one. Tweety was the smart one. My brother. Exactly, Sylvia. And that's the thing is that we must understand that this is our weight does not keep us from being, around people or somebody loving us. What keeps us from being loved is our inability to believe that we are good enough to be loved, you know. But you know what I'm saying? High patience, high. So that's part of the reason that we have to believe that we are good enough to be loved. We are, and are that we are worthy of certain things, and how about this? Better yet, they doing good to have us in their lives. That's the thing. Until you flip it around and look at them like, I'm a prize, motherfucker. I am a prize, right? Until we know this, and we have to believe it with every fiber of our being. Until we believe that, we will never have the things that we want, because we don't believe in our heart that we deserve them. We don't believe in our hearts that we deserve them. And so now it's time to like open yourself up to this. I got this really pretty color. Never mind. Speaking of beauty, who've been getting caught up in the Ultas? I mean, she really, no, I'm not gonna pet you now. Stop looking at me like that, you creepy cat. Speaking of that, and part of this came up is because I've been watching Queer Eye in Japan. Have you all seen Queer Eye in Japan this time, this new season? They got a season, Queer Eye in Japan. And it was interesting to see, and like they said, that so many of us, even though it's a different culture and everything, we still deal with the same things. And they had a couple that was on there, and they got together. Oh, you had to watch them. It's good. They have a couple on there. This man, and he's married, and him and his wife ain't had sex in like 4-5 years. And he didn't know how to ask her, did she love him or anything? And they were just kind of living these quiet lives, not loving on each other. Heck yeah, I want to go to Japan. I want to go to a lot of places. I want to go to a lot of places, so I got to make the money. No, but anyway, no. And so it was interesting because, and one of the things that Queer Eye does talk about and really does show is that so many people, once they feel better about themselves and how they look and how they present themselves, it is such a boost to their confidence. So that's what I'm saying. You have to believe in every fiber of your being that you are worth it, that you deserve everything and more. Once you do that, then you can have what you think you deserve and what you do deserve. Until that time, you open yourself up for the what do I call them? I call them the see, I can do it. But until that time, you're opened up to those vultures, that are like flying around waiting for their prey. That's what we're waiting for, because they just be like, ooh, because trust me, men, women, whoever, they sense weakness. Ooh, yes, and I have to pay American prices for Japanese brushes. Yes. And go live from Japan. Hello, I am in Japan. All right, y'all. I got to get off of here now. Yes. I got to get off of here now because I got to go get B in a little bit. So I'm going to sit down for a few minutes. Then I got to jump in the car again. I got to go up north and get Bianca. I got to drive down Lakeshore Drive, Michelle. Maybe I'll stop at, I'm going. You are right, Kim. I'm going. Maybe I'll stop at Ulta or Sephora. Get some, no, okay. I was going to get the samples. I ain't got no money. I mean, I really don't have any money. Whoo, this baby shower wore me out. Whoo, wore me out. She is done with school. This is her last day of this quarter. She has finals tonight. She has her last final tonight, and that's what I have to go take. I told you, now that you've been on it, you understand Lakeshore Drive, because it really is Lakeshore Drive. We ain't playing when we call it Lakeshore Drive. Okay, so I don't know when I'm going live because I got the baby shower Sunday. So it's gonna be very sporadic this week. We might do something Friday or Saturday. Maybe. I don't know. Y'all may be up with me late at night while I'm cooking. Probably that'll be Friday night. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was real bad about a week ago. They had to shut down part of the path. Yes, late night food prep with the scary night. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Because I gotta make pico de gallo. You fly back late Saturday night? It'll probably be Friday night, Kim. It'll probably be Friday night. So take care of your mom. Let us know how she's doing. So I'll talk to you guys later. Look at this. I am under an hour. If this ain't a fast live for me, put that in the books. 51 minutes.